The Heat lost. Jesus Christ. It's so depressing to be a Heat fan right now. Now we have to play a Game 7 in Boston. Honestly, I expected this. I just thought that the Celtics activated a new gear after Game 3, and it looked like we just imploded. I don't know what's happening with Jimmy Butler, but I'm going to get into that right now. And I know a lot of people are going to say, but he made clutch shots. It was like, that doesn't matter. Honestly, it's win or lose. It doesn't matter what you did inside the game. Like, if you didn't win, then what are we doing, honestly? Let's start with Miami since Boston won. Jimmy Butler had 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. He shot 5 for 21 from the field and 2 of 4 from 3. That's a horrible playoff game. Oh, and 12 for 14 from the free throw. That's a horrible playoff game. That added to 2 turnovers and 3 personal fouls. Like, Jimmy, this is the biggest game of the playoffs. This was the game between us sending them home in our home court or us having to play Game 7 in their home court. Then we had Bam, which, how I say always, Bam is really good at having bad games and making them seem good because he could get a lot of rebounds and he makes decently well. But he had 11 points on 4 for 16 shooting, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists. Horrible stat line, right? Like, yeah, it's effective, but also in the clutch, your paint was the one who was scored on to hit the game-winning shot. And even something as simple as just being there and boxing out Derek White could have helped massively and not settling. Gabe Vincent. I mean, I'm not going to try to put too much pressure on the undrafted guys because they've never been expected to do so much. But if Eric Spoelstra said that they've proven themselves, I'm going to act like it. Gabe Vincent played like trash. He shot well from 3, but his field goal percentage was 6 for 18. Also, I believe that he had 5 personal fouls. And in my opinion, if you're going to be the starting point guard over Kyle Lowry, a veteran who's been in these moments before, you cannot have 5 personal fouls because that looks horrible. Then we have Caleb Martin, which might be the best player in Miami, might be the only player who hasn't, choked in any way and who's been consistently probably one of our best players, right? He played 41 minutes. He had 21 points, 15 rebounds on 7 for 13 shooting and 50% from 3. And he only missed 1 free throw out of 4. He did have 5 personal fouls, but he had a steal and a block. And I do believe that he had a phenomenal game, as he has been doing recently. I like Caleb Martin. I think he's the only player who we've had who's shown any type of consistency throughout this series. But I'll keep going. Max Strus, also, he was the one guarding Derek White, and he was a minus 12 plus minus while on the field. Duncan Robinson, and then Kyle Lowry, and then I don't want to keep talking about this team if I'm being honest. Then the Celtics, Jason Tatum, 31 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists on 8 for 22 shooting, made all of his free throws, had 3 turnovers. He played a good game comparatively, and at least he was out there, getting it done. But I digress. Marcus Smart also played a phenomenal game. He had the only problem was the turnovers and the fouls, but he had 21 points on good efficiency. And then you have Derek White. I'm not going to talk about Derek White. I believe that he broke the mold. He was a guy who I didn't have a lot of faith in as a player. And if we're being honest, then Derek White probably did the impossible, and he out hustled the Miami Heat with that play, and that might have just shifted the tide for the entire playoffs and what the finals are going to look like. So shout out to Derek White, because think about that. Even though I am a Heat fan, I can recognize good basketball and effective basketball when I see it. Jaylen Brown had an absolute masterclass, right? He had 26 points, 10 rebounds, 9 for 16 from the field, 80% from the free throw line. The only problem was his threes and his turnovers, but he played well. And finally, Robert Williams was just effective. I forget all that I'm saying. What I want to say, and what we really want to say, is that how do we keep doing this? Us, as the Miami Heat, as a team, as the fans, base ourselves on rebounding, on defense, on hustle, on score, on team basketball. And we had the best opportunity of anyone in these playoffs to make something happen. It was the end of the game. Jimmy Butler forced that those two fouls, right? He had that and one, then he had the other time where they fouled him, and then he had that last 3-point foul, which put us up 1 point. He made every free throw, and we still found a way to lose. In my opinion, this was just a lapse in our mentality, in our mindset, and in how we play basketball. Look, I believe that the Miami Heat have something which I've never seen from a team in my life. It's like they are scared of being the favorites. Because last year, when people were saying, oh, they're a fake 1 seed, we went and made the Eastern Conference Finals. But then, in 2021, when people were saying the Miami Heat might actually make it to the finals again, right? And people were saying, oh, the Miami Heat look like a team which is going to put up competition, they got swept. In 2020, when people didn't expect anything from us, we went to the finals. And in 2019, right, I think we made the playoffs, which was unexpected. How is it that so consistently, no, I don't think in 2019 we made the playoffs, but how is it that in 2020, weren't expected to do anything, made the finals? 2021, we're expected to do something to win, or at least to pose some problems, got swept. 2022, we were called the fake 1 seed, made the Eastern Conference Finals, and now this year we're an 8th seed, and we made the Eastern Conference Finals, but when we're up 3-0, we can't win a series. Like, I believe, are the Miami Heat allergic to being favorites? What is happening? Like, it just seems like for the first 3 games we were playing hard, team basketball, Jimmy Butler, Bam actually looked integrated in the offense, right? And he looked like he wasn't just scoring just because he out of obligation. Jimmy was actually carrying a huge load. And in reality, what I can say is that we were playing great basketball, right? It was consistent, it was good, and we were all playing up to a standard in which we were executing on. But ever since it changed from being up 2-0, up 1-0, to being up 3-0, where everyone said, okay, the series is over, it's like Miami just fell asleep. Like, what happened in those games, in these last 3 games? I understand 2 were in Boston, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, 2 were in Miami, and 1 was in Boston. I understand not winning the Boston one, but we had 2 games at home. We hadn't missed a home game in the entire playoffs, and we come in this series and lose 2 of them, back to back. So I just believe that there's a problem here with Miami. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they got comfortable. I don't know if Coach Spoelstra is saying things, but the Miami's not listening. I don't know if the players just believe that they already made the finals and that they can cruise. But I do believe that the Celtics have taken this as an advantage to play harder, to work smarter and to actually try and to win these games, and it's paid out beautifully for them. Let's see what happens in this series, but honestly, um, I'm just a sad Heat fan right now. I want us to win, but I don't think it's gonna happen.